Recording in progress.
4, 3, 2, 1, blast off!
Are you ready for action?
I'm not ready for this.
Are you ready for action?
I'm not ready for this.
Get ready for motivation and inspiration with no excuses. Putting the squeeze on life and getting out all the juices. When the challenges come and you're taking hard hits, just know you ain't failed if you have not quit. It's the Lemon Drop, y'all, with the one and only Samar Lemons, that cool kid with the crazy shoe game. Finding sunshine in the midst of the rain. Madness to share, y'all gonna learn when you listen to this dope brother y'all best not be missing.
What are you listening to?
It's the Lemon Drop, y'all, with the one and only Shamar Lemons.
I'm not ready for this.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Samar Lemons. I am your host of the Lemon Drop. I hope everyone is having a great day, a great February. Today I have my family here, Bishop Marvin Brown and Miss Takesha Brown. How y'all doing today?
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent.
How
We're
are
excited.
you?
Excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm glad y'all could come, man. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And I just want to get started. Can you, one of you guys, tell who you are and what you do?
Bishop Marvin Brown. I am pastor of Blaze Church in Highland Park, Richmond, Virginia, about 3 minutes from downtown. Right across the little bridge, small little bridge there, right into Highland Park on 4th Avenue. And pastor of Blaze Church. Been pastoring the Blaze Church since 2005. Since 2005.
Yes, sir.
So I've been out there since 2005 doing this thing. We were originally Christ Worship Center, CWC. Went through a little name change back in 2021.
Yes.
2021. Name change to a Blaze Church because we just bring the fire. So that's what it is. And now along with the Blaze Church, we now have 2 other businesses, which is Numa Wellness, which is our spa, where we do some self-care, where you come in and you get some self-care for facials, massage, waxing, and things like that. And then we also have Solid Foundation, which I didn't head up, so I'm going to let my wife, Takesha,
Yes.
tell you about that.
All right. I am Takesha Brown, the assistant pastor of a Blaze Church in Highland Park. And Solid Foundation was birthed in October of 2020.
You ain't saying Highland Park like you're from Richmond.
Yeah, well, because I'm from Jersey.
Jersey!
but yes, Highland Park.
There you go.
But Solid Foundation was birthed in October of 2020. And we are a wedding efficient and premarital counseling / relationship counseling business. And so this started as a ministry where my husband was, and I affectionately called it marrying random people.
Mm-hmm. Marrying random people?
Marrying random people. Yeah.
How does that work?
So this is my favorite example. So a couple that we have now like gotten connected with their parents and like just fell in love with the whole family. He called me one day at work and he's like, "Hey, meet me at the church tonight because I'm about to marry this couple." And I'm like, "Who? Who are you about to marry?" He's like, "Oh, I was in line getting my permit to carry, and they were behind me talking about they were getting their marriage license. They thought they could get married at the courthouse because back in the day they would have, you know, a justice of the peace or whomever there to marry people. But they don't do that anymore. They were crushed, and so I gave them the address to the church, told them to come by tonight so they can get married." I'm like, "You don't know them? You have never talked to them? Like, how are you marrying these people?
Right.
This is so random."
Right.
Like, I was nervous. Like, they were going to come into church and kill us or something. I was nervous. I'm like, who are these people? Well, their family came in, they came in, and it was so warm, and it was so loving, and you felt the love in there. And I'm like, wait a minute. This me right here. I like this.
She likes
And
the love.
I love it.
Hey, with a picture, all that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
oh yeah. So now I'm all for the randoms. I'm all for the randoms. fast forward, I think I went with him for maybe about 2 or 3 more of the random weddings. And I'm like, this is something. And by the time the COVID hit, and I'm like, yeah, I can't keep doing what I'm doing right now because
Okay.
it's like really draining me. I need to do something that is like bringing me some joy, bringing me some peace, etc. And that's where Solid Foundation was birthed.
Yeah.
And so we average just under 100 weddings a year. I'm hoping that we can double, triple that here in 2024. We marry people who are having a big wedding later on, but for whatever reason, they just want to make it official and legal today.
So y'all marry all types of people.
All types of people.
Yeah,
all types of scenarios.
Okay.
All types of scenarios.
Pretty much all types
Oh,
of people. Usually.
yes.
So if I wanted to get married, I had to go through y'all. We had to go through like just one big old process.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not even a big old process
Yeah.
because, like, we also do what's called same day weddings.
Yeah.
And so, if you and your fiance go down to whatever court, and y'all get the paperwork, and you're like, we want to get married today. Can we come by? One of us will be there,
We'll be
and
there.
you can just
Yeah.
walk in, and we'll make it as. I mean,
Yeah.
the one thing we offer, whether it's a same day, it's a quick elopement, whatever it is we offer prayer.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that he shared with me when I was trying to talk through this random moment. He's like, well, I would rather them come to us knowing that we're going to pray for them, their marriage, their future, their life together, than them to go to somebody who will just marry them but doesn't
Doesn't really care.
care. They're just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
And so, we offer that, and I have very rarely had people say, no, don't pray for our marriage.
Yeah.
You better have God in that relationship or it ain't gonna last 20 minutes.
Oh no!
Right,
Oh
right,
no!
right.
Listen, there are people who have God in it and they still struggle.
Yeah.
It's marriage is real. It's not easy. It's not for the faint at heart. And if you don't have God in there, oh yeah, it's you'll be giving up because it's too much.
Yeah.
And we just saw it on Facebook that the random couple that
Yes.
we were talking about, the random couple that I met in the line,
yeah.
we just saw them on Facebook
Yep.
celebrating their 7th,
And it's either 7th or 8th anniversary. one of
7th
the
wedding
two.
anniversary.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were kids when
yeah.
they were like fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
They were
Oh,
like,
okay.
They
That's
were
commitment
young.
right there.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they were young. They were
Oh,
young.
yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they stayed
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
They stayed with it. They're still in there. I mean, we're
Oh, yeah.
gonna attribute prayer to
Oh,
a big
right.
part of that.
The prayers
big
of the
part of it.
righteous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
prayer to-
You guys had to go through college to help marry people?
No.
So no, what happens is in order to marry, a couple of things. You can be a civil celebrant or officiant, and what you usually have to be that you have to go to the state or city or that county, get sworn in, and once you get sworn in, then they allow you to marry. You pay a hefty fee for that,
Yeah.
but also if you're like a pastor or an ordained minister
Yeah.
in the church and you take your license up there, they'll allow you to do that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So being pastors and ordained ministers, they allow us to do that, and you just come right in and do it. And once you do it, I think they have some counties have a limit to how many people
Yeah.
from one church can be officiants, but
Yeah.
they allow you to come in and do it. And she took it to the next level. I was just kind of marrying random people, but she came in. I was definitely just marrying random people.
But they would find him.
They would.
They had to pay you guys for them to marry?
Yes.
So yes,
Yes.
we do charge to get married. Because it's
I
time,
understand.
it's time, it's energy,
Yeah.
it's money, and the way we do things is like we have a website, so we show up for weddings, we show up if you're doing a bigger
Can
wedding,
you
we
get
show
the
up.
name of your, like, where people can find you so they can go to you?
Yeah,
go to your
it's
stuff?
So the website is Solid Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
VA for Virginia, Efficient, singular. So Solid Foundation, VA, Efficient.com. That's our website. You can also find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. You can also reach me. I've got a free page on the Knot and the Wedding Wire, and so you can find us there as well. We are licensed and insured, so we are,
Legit.
we're legit, right?
Top flight.
Yeah.
Top
Top
flight
flight.
security of the world, Craig. So we are legit, And in addition to that, another like just talking to the timing piece. From our very first initial conversation, we're not just like, okay, you want us to marry you? We're going to show up. We're going to give you whatever ceremony we have. We're going to plug your name in there, and you're going to like it. We customize every ceremony.
Oh, you guys customize like the wedding, like the color,
Yes.
the music, the.
Well, so
Well-
that part they do, but the building out of the ceremony itself.
From the time they walk down the aisle
Yep.
to the time we say
man.
that we now pronounce you
Yeah,
man and wife.
that's us.
That's
Guys,
us.
maybe get married next week.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
let's
listen.
do it.
I'm not
Let's do it.
I'm not having that
Let's do
fight
it.
with your mama.
Let's do it. Right. That's gonna be the
No,
issue.
no.
Why y'all decide to marry my son?
Right. That is not what y'all were there for.
It's done now, day to day. It's done. It's a wrap now. It's happening.
Yeah, she'll kill me if I get married before 30 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Listen,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, so I think if it's the right person.
I think the problem would be the line that's waiting.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Listen, you got a lot of aunties,
Yeah.
and I would go from being efficient to being in line like,
Who are you?
little girl, let me be super clear with you. What you don't want is this smoke. You don't want it. You don't want it.
Yeah, Bishop, I be seeing you up there. What they call it, like the person that marries a couple? Like you stand on stage and you give the vows.
Yeah.
They're efficient.
Yeah,
Efficient.
they're efficient.
How does it feel to do that?
Ooh.
So wow, how does it feel? It's good. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling because you know, like you're at the beginning of what they're about to walk into. The good, the bad, the ugly sometimes. But yeah, you're at the beginning of like what can be a lasting relationship.
Yeah.
I watched somebody talk about their marriage and they were literally married for 80 years. They had
Right.
reached their 80th anniversary.
100 years old.
They were.
Yeah.
They were right at. One was 99. The other one was 97 and 98.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they were like 100 years old down in North Carolina, but like went into their 80th
Yeah.
wedding anniversary. So
I would love that for one of my couples.
Yeah,
Like, oh my
yeah.
goodness,
I
I'm
love it
tearing
for
up
all
just
of
thinking
them.
about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be married for 80 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
listen, that's a
Well,
long time.
It's,
Yeah,
it
it's
a long
is.
time.
It's a long time, but when you look at the statistics around like the benefits of marriage,
Yeah.
specifically for men, they
Even
talk.
health benefits.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
said men live longer if they marry.
yes.
I heard the
Live
opposite of
long.
that, Bishop.
Well, so here's a little. Well, I won't give you. Well, I will say.
Yeah.
So women tend to live shorter when they're
Right.
married.
Yeah.
Men live longer, but it's generally because women are taking care of the men.
Yes.
They making sure you do this and do
Yes.
that. And then they kind of take the back seat on everything, so they always looking out for the family
Yeah.
and looking out for the men,
Yes.
as opposed to
That's a whole job.
when men are single by themselves, they don't tend to look out so much for
No,
their health
no.
and for I'm gonna go get this doctor's checkup.
Yep.
The women are like, go get you
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
got this checked out yet.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
you still coughing like that?
Oh.
Why you still why you still what's that bump?
Right. You've been nursing that moment, that
Yeah.
hip, that leg, that back for a minute.
Yeah.
And I literally have to tell him, okay, we're not talking about it
About
anymore.
me.
We are going to the doctor.
Yeah.
Period.
And
Right.
It's happening.
And when I used to go to y'all church, you guys used to talk about relationship advice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys still do that relationship
Oh
advice?
yeah.
Yeah.
I know people
So-
need it now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that is also a part of Solid Foundation.
Yeah.
And so not only do we marry the couples, but if they want it,
Yeah.
we don't force it. It's not a requirement. We do either premarital counseling, where weeks, months, even sometimes up to a year before the wedding, we start this journey with them on walking through what marriage
Yeah.
looks like, working through some of the kinks, the good stuff, the not so good stuff, strengths, weaknesses, all that good stuff. But then even afterwards, if they are like, hey, we think we need some help here.
Yeah.
Or we would just like to maintenance our marriage by staying connected to you all. They come back for, what we call like follow-ups, and
You got
they just,
Yeah.
yeah,
You guys pay for those too?
yes.
Yeah, you pay
Yes.
for those too. Here's the thing, like marriages are work.
Yeah.
Marriages are work. That's cut and dry. Marriages are work, and just like with anything, you gotta have something that's working. You gotta have maintenance on that working part. Like a car needs an oil change.
Yeah.
It's normal maintenance, because if you wait too long, you're gonna have bigger problems.
Yep.
Than
They're gonna add up.
yeah, they're gonna add up, and it's gonna cost you more.
Yeah.
So what we do, what we suggest is get some counseling.
Yeah.
If it's nothing but once a quarter,
Yeah.
just to kind of get a checkup to make sure, just like you get your oil change every 3 months.
Yes, sir.
Come and get a relationship checkup every 3 months, so
Yeah.
at least you know you good.
Yep.
So you won't be coming on the back end, and we can kind of identify some little problems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to rethink that.
Yeah.
Or he might be settling
Yeah.
with something that, could be a blow up down the road, and we kind of squashed the little moments that he been holding back on or she's been holding back on. And he'll say, wow, I didn't know she was really feeling that way.
Yeah.
Or wow, I didn't know he was really feeling that way. And we kind of identify those moments and kind of smooth them out before it gets to, a fire where somebody now is blown up, or they had this big blowout.
Yeah.
Stuff
That could have been avoided if you just
Yeah.
just
go
came
into
in,
session.
Yeah.
go into session, hit
Yeah.
some maintenance. Just let's get checked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And if everything is good, everything is good.
Yeah. And one of the things that I just piggybacking on that is what we try to do is create a safe space for those conversations.
Yeah.
And some people are like, I don't want to fight, I don't want to argue, so I'm just going to deal with it. But while they're calling themselves dealing with it, it's really just like this small fire that's
Yeah,
now
take the toll on
going from a spark to a flame.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you can by mistake like spill some water on the counter, and it's like, I hate when you do this. Well, I just spilled some water on the counter. What just
Right.
happened here? But it's all of those
Those
little
little
things that
moments.
you're not
I've been
talking
mad
about.
at you all week. I ain't
Right.
Right,
Right.
right. And dude been going through like, oh, everything's great.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize like, oh yeah, he just spilled that water,
Yeah.
and like she went to a full blown
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was a full blown
Yeah.
fire.
But it not just her moment. It also
Yeah,
happens
but-
with guys.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
and
Happens with me.
yeah, it's like
I have emotional problem.
Yeah.
you talk about like in marriage, like one of the sayings I hate. I literally hate it. Is happy wife, happy life. No, that's
Yeah.
that could not be more wrong.
Everybody needs to be happy.
It could never be more wrong. It's it really should be, let's have a happy home. Let's
Right.
have everybody in here, not just us, but our kids, anybody that's living in here. We want to make sure that all of us are of sound mind. We are good. We are mentally, physically, emotionally healthy.
The dog,
Because
the cat.
the dog and the
Yeah.
cat.
Turtle.
Yes,
They had the turtle,
everybody. The bird,
gerbil.
all of them, because
Yeah.
if one is not, it could really just be just one.
Yeah.
Everybody else could be having a good day. That one will come home and the entire atmosphere will change.
Yeah.
And then everybody's trying to figure out what just happened.
Right.
Well, you've got somebody that's hurting, but they're bleeding internally. They don't feel safe to talk about it because
Right.
they don't want to ruin everybody else's day, or they don't want to start or be the one labeled. But we got to deal with this stuff.
Yeah.
Like they call it being a burden. People they don't want to be a burden.
Yeah, they don't want to be a burden. Exactly.
Be a
But
burden.
but you love them, and so you're like, but just talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
And so we when we were here earlier today, we sat in on a session with the mental clinical health counselor, and he said sometimes all people need is somebody that will just listen.
Yeah.
Somebody that will just listen, not tell them what to do,
Yeah.
how to fix it, but just listen. And so that's another thing that we do in counseling.
Yeah. We
We-
take time to just listen
Yeah.
to people
Yeah.
instead of talking
Yeah.
about everything.
Yeah.
Or trying
Yeah.
to tell them what to do. We just kind of sitting there listening
Yeah.
to your situation, listening to your story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So
a big part of it.
So Solid Foundation, we also do some of our in-person sessions at Numa Wellness. And when it was created, the thought process was, if we can help to restore people mind, body, and soul, they become
Yeah.
better versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And during COVID, it was so necessary.
Yeah.
Because I think even if we were still going and telling ourselves we were okay, the burden of those numbers we were
Build
hearing
up.
every day, the burden of everything that was going on, it manifested in each of us differently, but it still was a thing. And so,
That's the importance of like self-care in general.
yes,
Like
yes.
it's not just self-care is good. Self-care is necessary.
It is,
It is
It is.
not just good. It's necessary. We
Yeah.
gotta do it.
yeah.
We gotta do it.
And one thing that I love about like our dynamic at Numa Wellness is it's not like it's just this like pretty moment where all we have is women coming in and having these pretty spa days, and I love that. But we have just as many males coming in, and they're like,
Yeah.
Sometimes they are all saying, my girlfriend scheduled this for me.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
wife scheduled this for me. But then some of them, like the gentleman I talked to at length on Saturday, he said, yeah, I'm looking for a place for a standing appointment. I'm making this my priority this year. I need 2 massages a month. And, you know, I
That
just
sound
want to
nice.
sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My back hurt right now.
There you go.
Listen,
There you go.
we don't just have like relaxation massages, but we also have folks that do medical type of massages
Yeah.
where like if you've got a moment, you know,
Yeah.
you fill out your sheet, you tell them what's going on, and then they work with you based on what your needs are.
Gotta
Have you
do-
guys
Yeah.
thought about doing like online therapy? Like people can call you and like if they need to vent to you, you guys can do that.
Oh, we do.
yeah,
We
we
do.
actually do. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. We got sessions where we can do, you know, relationship counseling from anywhere around the world,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah,
You
via
set up
Zoom.
a Zoom session
Yep.
I
and
think when you guys, it's called Blaze Church on Instagram.
Yeah.
Blaze
I see,
Church.
I see you doing Zooms all the time. I was
Yes.
like, okay, bitch.
yeah, yep,
Yes,
yep,
sir.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I actually have a couple here in Virginia. They're about an hour and a half away. They're not very technology savvy, so we literally do our sessions over the phone.
Yeah.
They literally just call me and
Plain and
we,
simple.
yeah, plain
Yeah.
and simple.
Yeah.
They just call me and they will text me. They've been married for over 30 something years, but they, you know, are working through some things, and so they'll text me and say, hey, do you have any availability this week? I absolutely do, and we make it work, and you know, have that chat over the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, and because I'm not like, you know, not yet anyway, a licensed therapist, but I'm doing this as pastoral
Oh,
care.
shit, you still
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Still, and
Pastoral care.
and I try to actually have sessions, not where like we're right in the middle of a breakthrough, where like something is, you know, like
Yeah.
turning around, and I'm like, oh, look at that. We're at our hour now, and so you make sure you schedule with the front
Yeah.
desk, and I'll see you the next time. You know, sometimes that gets a little out of hand.
Yeah.
I probably think my longest session was maybe about 2.5 hours,
Jesus.
but they were really going through.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Sometimes
were-
you just can't. You
Woo!
just can't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, and I couldn't, and my mind wasn't even thinking about the time. And then when it was over, I was like, oh my gosh, we've been in here for 2.5 hours, but we needed that time. We
Yeah.
needed it. We needed it. Both of them, we got in there and they felt safe sharing, they felt safe talking, and it worked out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love what we do. Serving people, I think, is just what we've been created to do. And there are some people that are not going to come to a Blaze Church. We are fully aware of that.
Yeah.
They're not going to
We
come.
don't need them.
Yeah.
Shoot, they
Yeah.
just do it on the phone.
Yeah.
However
Okay.
they need to.
However they need to.
For the ones that listen, matter of fact, can you give your church's location for the ones that's listening that may want to join?
Yeah, yeah. If you want to join us at the Blaze Church, we're there. So we start off with breakfast at 11:30. 11:30
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday, 11:30 a.m. at 2101 4th Avenue.
Yep. the number
2101 4th Avenue, Richmond, Virginia 23222. Or the website is
four. BlazeChurchRVA.org.
Yep, AblazeChurchRVA.org. You can also find us on Instagram at a Blaze Church, or on at a
Facebook.
Blaze Church, Facebook.
Is also a Blaze Church ICM, I want to say it
Yeah,
is.
I believe so. Yep, on Facebook.
But just Google us, you'll
Yeah.
find us.
Yep, a Blaze Church in Richmond, Virginia. It's,
Yes.
it's the only a Blaze Church in Richmond, Virginia.
Yes. The
Only the
information.
Blaze Church in Virginia.
Yes. The information for the spa is, our website is numawellness.org.
.org.
Yes, and
Numa
that's
Wellness.
Numa. Go ahead.
PNEUMAWELLNESS. NumaWellness.org.
Yep.
The Numa stands for Holy Spirit.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
anybody was asking, or
Yep.
wondering where they get that name Numa from.
Yeah, right.
And I appreciate you. Thank y'all for coming. I can't
Thank
wait
you
to
for
see y'all
having
again.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
it
it's
was so good to
amazing.
hang out
It's
with
amazing
you.
to be on the Lemon Drop.
That's
yeah,
it. That's it.
And I thank you all for listening. I'm your host of the Lemon Drop. Please have an excellent back here to the month. Love you all. Take care.
We